The grand hall of the Galactic Council shimmered with light from 1,000 worlds. Representatives of countless species sat in crescent rows of floating platforms, their voices blending into a low, nervous hum. The banners of 100 civilizations hung above the chamber, each symbol of peace, progress, and cooperation, but beneath the illusion of order was panic. The humans had stopped talking. For 2 standard cycles now, Earth had refused every diplomatic message, every envoy, every offer for discussion. Not since the siege of Orion's gate, a bloody conflict that ended with the destruction of 3 council fleets, had the humans been this silent. The galaxy was uneasy because silence from humans had never meant peace. It meant planning. At the center of the chamber, Chancellor Threx of the Vorun species rose from his platform, his carapace plates clicking with agitation. "The Human-Terran Confederacy has withdrawn from all channels," he said, his mandibles quivering. "Their ambassadors have left our embassies. Their trade convoys have vanished from shared routes. Even their satellites at the border systems have gone dark. This is not isolation, it is preparation. We must act before they do." A ripple of alarm passed through the crowd. From the misty enclosure of the aquatic delegates, the Yilra representative spoke through translation waves. "You would have us provoke them again? Do you not recall what happened at Orion's gate, when your fleet trespassed into their orbit and they responded with that?" The image flickered across the hollow screens. The human kinetic bombardment that had vaporized the Voran fleet in orbit of Orion IV. No energy weapons, no radiation. Just a barrage of metal rods dropped from high orbit at orbital velocity. Primitive, brutal, impossible to intercept. It had silenced an entire system in minutes. The Chancellor's mandibles clicked again, this time with anger. "And what would you propose? That we sit idle while they arm themselves again? While they watch us through their silent fleets? Humans are predators. They smile when they want something, and they vanish when they prepare to take it." From the far end of the chamber, an aged voice interrupted. "Predators, yes, but they were our allies once." Every delegate turned as the luminous form of the Solari ambassador glided into the light. The Solari were beings of pure energy encased in containment fields, old, wise, and patient. "Do you forget the War of the Rim?" the Solari asked softly. "When the crag devoured entire colonies, it was the humans who came without asking for reward. They fought beside us, died beside us, and when victory came, they did not demand tribute. They simply went home." There was silence again. Even the air recyclers seemed to pause. "They were different then," Threx snapped. "That was a century ago. Now they isolate themselves, build their machines in the dark, and ignore the laws that bind us all. The Council was created to keep the peace. If one species believes itself above diplomacy, then it threatens us all." A young avian delegate fluttered her wings nervously. "Has there been any direct aggression? Any confirmed military movement?" Threx hesitated, his eyes narrowing. "No direct movement, but reports from the frontier worlds indicate that several human scout ships have been seen near Council border systems. They do not respond to hails. They simply observe and then vanish. Exploration vessels, perhaps?" the Solari suggested. "Or reconnaissance for invasion," Threx countered darkly. The debate grew louder, rising into chaos. Words like sanctions, containment, and strike first began to echo across the chamber. For the first time in generations, the Galactic Council, the unified body that had survived wars, plagues, and rebellions, was fracturing over a single species. Meanwhile, in the shadow of the Sol system, aboard the human dreadnought ISS Resolute, Captain Mira watched the Council's transmissions from a secure observation deck. The flickering holograms of alien delegates bickering across the chamber reflected off her visor. Her jaw tightened. "Same as always," said Commander Ruiz beside her. "They panic, they argue, they assume we're plotting to destroy them. I swear if we tried to send them a fruit basket, they'd call it biological warfare." Han didn't smile. "They've forgotten what we are, Ruiz. What we've always been. We tried diplomacy. We tried peace. But every time we extended our hand, they saw weakness. And now we're going silent." "Yes," Han said, "because silence makes them listen." She turned toward the viewport. Outside, a fleet of human warships drifted silently among the stars, their matte black hulls absorbing all light. No insignia, no lights, only shadows. "The Council doesn't realize," Han continued, "that we don't want war. We want respect. We want them to stop treating us like a threat they can control. And if it takes fear to earn that respect, then fear will have to do. Ruiz hesitated. Do you think they'll attack us first? Han's expression hardened. If they do, then we'll remind them why humanity is still standing while their empires rise and fall. We are not conquerors, Ruiz. We are survivors. And survival is something they'll never understand. On the Council homeworld of Virel Prime, panic turned to desperation. Reports began to flood in. Unknown human vessels were being detected near deep space outposts. Massive energy signatures were being recorded in the Sol system. And communication buoys along the neutral zone were failing mysteriously. The Council convened again in emergency session. This time the atmosphere was charged with dread. We must open dialogue again, said the Kalari ambassador. If they will not respond through official channels, then we send a neutral envoy, someone they trust. Who? Threx scoffed. There is no one they trust. The Solari's light flickered faintly. Perhaps they will listen to one who fought beside them once. I will go. The chamber erupted in protest. You'll be killed! They'll take you hostage. You'll never come back. But the Solari only bowed its glowing head. If that is the price of understanding, then it is one I will pay. Within the cycle, a Solari diplomatic vessel left Council space. It crossed the darkened border into human-controlled territory, broadcasting peaceful signals, offering no threat. Its message was simple: we seek to speak, not to fight. No response came for days. Then, on the 5th rotation, a transmission finally returned, one that would shake the Council to its core. It was Captain Han. Her face was calm, her voice steady, but her words carried the weight of something ancient and final. Ambassador, she said, we have received your message. Know this, the Terran Confederacy is not at war with the Council, but we no longer recognize its authority over us. You call it unity. We call it control. You speak of peace, but peace under your terms has always meant submission. We will not submit. The Solari's light dimmed in sorrow. You would turn your back on the galaxy? Han's gaze did not waver. We tried to be part of your galaxy. You refused to see us as equals. You treated us as primitives when we bled for you, as threats when we advanced beyond you. So yes, Ambassador, we're turning our backs. From this point onward, humanity stands alone. The transmission ended. The Council chamber erupted into chaos once more, as the Solari envoy's report was transmitted. Some shouted for sanctions, others demanded immediate war. But the oldest among them, those who had lived through the first contact with humanity, sat in silence because they remembered the one truth no one else would speak aloud. When humans refused diplomacy, it was never because they wanted isolation. It was because they had already decided what came next. The Solari envoy's ship drifted silently beyond the Sol border, its sensors still locked on Earth's distant blue shimmer when the message reached the Council. The humans' declaration was not a threat, not an ultimatum, just a statement of fact. They were done with the galaxy. For many in the Council, that alone was cause for relief. But for those who knew humanity's history, it was cause for terror. Across the stars, panic spread like radiation. Border patrols reported strange anomalies, entire sectors of deep space going dark as human communication networks retracted inward. Old colonies once co-governed by humans and aliens were evacuated, the humans leaving behind messages written in a dozen galactic tongues. This world is yours now. Keep it. We're done talking. Then came the silence. Weeks turned into months. Trade lanes grew empty. Diplomatic channels filled only with unanswered transmissions. And then, something shifted. In the Vathor sector, a Council patrol ship detected a colossal gravitational signature, an artificial one. Within hours, they realized that an entire moon had vanished from orbit. When scouts arrived, all they found was an empty void and fragments of exotic alloys. It was as if someone had dismantled a celestial body. The only species capable of such a feat and silent enough to hide it were human. The Council assembled again in frantic urgency. Chancellor Threx's voice echoed through the chamber, sharp and trembling. This is it. They're constructing something. A superweapon, a fleet, a new kind of ship. We cannot allow them to operate unchecked. Ambassador Rilta of the Yilra species shuddered, her translucent body rippling with anxiety. And if you attack them, Chancellor, what then? We saw what happened at Orion's gate. Their vengeance does not end with fleets. It ends with extinction. They refused diplomacy, Threx hissed. They left the council. That makes them outsiders. If we allow them to grow unchecked, the next time they return, it will not be as partners. It will be as conquerors. From the high seats above the assembly, the Solari spoke once more, its luminous form pulsing faintly. You misunderstand them as always. Humans do not conquer because they want to rule. They conquer because someone forces them to prove they can. No one listened. The council voted. The decision passed by a narrow margin. The formation of a containment fleet. A vast armada was assembled. Hundreds of ships from 20 species. United under a single purpose. To monitor and, if necessary, subdue humanity before their silence turned into war. The fleet entered the Sol exclusion zone 3 weeks later. They encountered no resistance. No transmissions, no warnings, just emptiness and cold light from the sun. Earth's orbit, once bustling with satellites and stations, was barren. Then suddenly one of the ships reported a contact. A massive object, half the size of Earth's moon, detected near the asteroid belt. It was not a weapon. It was not even armed. It was a shipyard. The humans had built something the galaxy had never seen before. Thousands of metallic spires stretched across kilometers of open space, assembling vessels unlike any known design. The hulls were blacker than void, absorbing even radar signals. Massive structures blinked with faint blue energy, drawing power from the nearby sun through a network of Dyson-like collectors. As the fleet approached, a single human transmission cut through every frequency in unison. This is Captain Mira of the Terran Confederacy. You are trespassing in restricted space. Turn back immediately, Threx, aboard the Council flagship, snarled. We come on behalf of the Galactic Council. You have violated countless accords by constructing this, whatever it is. Surrender the facility for inspection or be fired upon. For a long moment, there was only silence. Then Captain Han's voice returned, calm, almost pitying. You still believe the galaxy belongs to you. You never understood. We were never building a weapon. We were building a wall. Confusion rippled through the fleet. A wall? Threx repeated. Yes, Han said. A barrier between us and you. You crave control, not peace. Every treaty you draft binds someone weaker. Every law you pass protects your interests. We tried to be part of your order once. We won't make that mistake again. Before the Chancellor could respond, the shipyard's blue lattice flared with energy. Space itself seemed to twist like glass under heat. A blinding pulse expanded outward, enveloping the entire Sol system. When the light faded, Earth and its planets were gone. The entire solar system had vanished, moved, phased, or hidden beyond all known space. The Council fleet was left staring into empty stars where a sun had once burned. Impossible, whispered one of the Yilra commanders. How could they move a star? The Solari, watching through long-range sensors, spoke softly. Not move, withdraw. They have folded their system into dimensional space. They've hidden from us entirely. Threx's mandibles trembled. They abandoned the galaxy? No, the Solari replied. They abandoned us. For centuries, the galaxy would search for them. Explorers probed the void, scanning for traces of Sol's unique signature, but nothing was ever found. Some claimed to detect faint human transmissions deep beyond mapped space. Ghost signals repeating old Terran phrases. We choose our own path. Others believed the humans still watched from the shadows, unseen, waiting. The Galactic Council continued its fragile existence, but unity was gone. Fear had replaced it. Every new species that rose among the stars was told the same story, a cautionary tale of the race that walked away. They called it the Great Withdrawal. And across the eons, legends grew. Some said humanity had found another galaxy, one untainted by politics and control. Others whispered that they had transcended flesh, becoming something more, something the Council could never comprehend. But one truth remained unshaken. Humanity had proven that the most terrifying sound in the galaxy was not the roar of their cannons or the thunder of their fleets. It was their silence,